Sharing the screen, let me know once it is visible. Set screen is visible, ma?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what we are discussing in the last class, any questions on the last class, first of all? Any questions on the last
No,
class?
ma'am.
Okay. So then we are just going to see today's class. MP3 not yet finished. Okay. So what and all we covered in the last classes, no? We covered how to create a text field, how to create an input output field, how to create a push button, correct? And we covered how to call from screen to screen, correct?
Yeah, ma'am.
How to validate the data, that is also covered, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So then we are going to see today. So the remaining two events, we saw that PBO before showing the screen it triggers PAI process on action, means process after action, means you are going to have on your action on the screen you are going to trigger that PI event. Now we have two more events, POV and POH. That events we'll see. For that, what is that? POV means value request, and then POH means help request. We saw that already the value request and help request in the selection screen. At that time, we saw the events called add selection screen on value request, add selection screen on help request, correct? Any questions on that?
No, ma'am.
Yeah. Same here also we are going to use POV, process on value request, and process on help request. To get the F4 help, we have three ways. What is that? One is if I am taking from the dictionary, it will get the help buttons automatically. That is the first way. Second way, if it is a table field, then we can just create a search help and assign it by using the match code object under the selection screen. Here under the attributes, we can add the select the search help option. So this is the second way. Third way, we are going to write the code. Where to write the code? Under the event, we return at selection screen on value request for. Here we are going to write the code under the process on value request for. That's the only difference. The event got changed. Remaining options are the same. So we have three options to get the F4 help. Can we see practically?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yes, C80. So I am quickly creating a program ZMPP. How much is done? 6. Hmm. Now I'll start with 7. So you know all these steps, so that's the reason I'm not repeating again. Done. Right click and activate. Done. Then right click, create screen. Creating the screen 900 or 9000, whatever maybe it is. And this is for demo. And then go to the layout. In the layout, we are just going to choose the field from dictionary. See, VBAK is the dictionary. Get from dictionary. I'm choosing the field from VBLN, and I'll just rename this field as ZV underscore VBLN. And then I'm going to take from the same table. I know VBAK having all the options. ERNUM is not having any help button in the table. I'm choosing that field also and double click on that. I'm just going to rename it as ZV underscore ERNUM. Then I'm just going to take my own field. It is not like in the table and all. Just use the text T1, which is file path, and I'm just going to drag and drop. So double click on that ZV path. So like this, I defined three fields. One is from dictionary, another also from dictionary. This is my own field. So activate it. And then come back. And I need to declare these three fields, right? Whatever I declared. You can see VBLN, ERNUM, and ZV path. So go to the top and declare those. Data is the keyword to declare. ZV VBLN, which is of type VBAK hyphen VBLN, and ZV underscore ERNUM, which is of type VBAK hyphen ERNUM, and then ZV underscore path, which is of type string. So like this, I defined all the three fields first. Now I already taken this. You can go to the screen. Okay, right click and activate. I'm not writing any action or something. I just seeing whether it is getting the help or not. Transaction I'm creating Z22 MPP7, which is for demo, and continue. So copy the same program name and screen number, and then save it. Local object. Then I'm just going to run MPP7. You can see here it is having the help button because in the table level it is having. Created by doesn't have any help button. File path is doesn't have any help button. Correct? Why it got? Because I used VBAK VBLN, which is already having in the table. Correct? In the table it is already having the help. We saw this example previous also, correct or not? But that is in the selection screen. Now we are seeing in the screen. See, input help already available. For Yarnum it doesn't have. That's the reason it is not coming. Is it clear, ma?
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay. Then how to assign for this created by means it's a table field. You can go and create a search help. How to create? Choose the search help radio button. Z22. Yeah, we have already shown in the selection screen. At that time I created the search help. I'll just copy this search help and go to the screen. So where to assign? In the screen, go to the layout. For that particular field, you can see search help. Here you are going to assign the search help name. Activate it. Then come back and right click and activate. In the attributes, you're going to give the search help. So now I'm just running this T code one more time. See, first one is having, second one also having the F4 help, because I assigned that F4 help button for the second field also. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Can we go for the next?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah, next one is a file path. File path of string. It is not a table field. If it is a table field, what I can do? I can create search help and I can assign at the attribute level. But it is not at all a table field. And for that, I want to assign the help. If I want to assign the help, SAP given standard FM is there. F4 underscore file name. If I'm using that, definitely I'm going to get the help. But how to assign that F4 help? Where can I write that function module? How can I call the function module? Where to call the function module? Means we are just going to have a event. Okay. So I need to write any code, not only this, any code. Then we can't write directly here and all. So first I'm using the event process on value request. Under that, for which field you are writing, zv underscore path is the path module. Okay, F4 help. For that, I'm just going to write this, but it should end with the screen number. Any module you are writing, end with the screen number, so that you can understand this is under the screen. When I see modules, directly I can go to the screen and see. So you can see I'm double clicking on the module. Yes, to create same main program, continue, save the screen. Now I'm going to call that button F4 underscore file name is the function module. In this, what I need to do, I need to simply pass that p underscore path. Sorry, zv underscore path. But here, actual parameters, formal parameters must and should match. So I'll just go to the FM. You can double click, it will take you to that. In that, you can see in the exporting file name, IB params path, which is character of 128. You can see it's a character of path is character of 128. So, but I'm just taken the variable as string. So copy this, go to the top include. Instead of string, just go to the change, add this, activate the include. Now go to the screen in the module. I already given that. Done. Right click and activate. Now I'm going to run the same transaction. See, now there is no F4 help. Now I'm going to run the same transaction one more time. Now it got the F4 help. When this event will trigger, when I press F4 help for file path, at that time it triggers. Clear, ma? That event is triggered when I'm just clicking on F4 help, the process on value request. Under that, whatever code is there, that will be executed and you're going to get the F4 help. Is it clear?
Yeah, ma'am.
Can we go for the next?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is about F4 help. If table is having the help, automatically it comes. If it is not having any help in the table, but it's a table field, you can create search help and you can assign it in the attributes tab. If it is not at all a table field and you can't create search help, but you want to write some other code, then you can use the event called process on value request. Under that, for which field you are writing, you can write the field name, and then under that you can write the code, so that it's going to trigger when I press F4 for that particular field. At that time, that event will trigger and you're going to run that piece of code which you written in the module. So with this, I covered the F4 help. If no questions, then I'll start F1 help. Can I?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then F1 help means documentation help. If the field is having the helper, here also we have three ways to get the F1 help. What is that? If it is field is having the help, I'm pressing F1 on that. It is having the already documentation, so it is showing. And if it is not there, you can see I'm just pressing F1. It doesn't have any documentation, so it is not showing. And if it is a custom field, I can go to the data element, I can add the documentation. That is the second option. But here yarnum is a VBAK yarnum. So it's a standard field. Standard field data element, I can't go for change. Then how can I add the documentation? Second way also not suitable. Then we'll go for the third way. I can create the documentation in SC61 and I can assign that for the field by using the function module DSYS show for F1 help. So by using that function module, I can assign back to the field. Can we start that?
Yeah, ma'am.
First and second way is understood, right? If yes,
Yes, ma'am.
then we'll go for the third way.
Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah. So then we are going to the third way. So where we can create the documentation and attach for this because it's not a custom field. How to create the documentation? We can go for SE61T code and we are going to create documentation. I already created this documentation already there. I'm just going to call this. So how to call this, how to attach? For that I have a FM. Where to call the FM? So you need to call under event process on help request. Under that field, which field? ZV underscore yarnum. For that I'm going to create module F1 help. Okay, and double click on the module. S to create, save in the same main program. Yes, save the screen. Now you can see call the pattern button. What is that? DSYS show for F1 help. This is the function module. Just go to that documentation class, always will be TX, and the language which is used under the okay system logging language. What is the text name I choose in SC61Z22 text? This is the name which I need to pass it here. Okay, then we are going to uncomment the exceptions. Done. So now activate it and right click and activate. If anything is not active, it will be activated. Now you can see I'm just going to run the transaction one more time. So now I'm just going to press F1, now not the F4. You can see the documentation which I created in that is coming here. So like this, we are going to attach the documentation for the field. Clear? So we have F4 help and F1 help. F4 help also we have three ways. So what is that? If the table field is having the help, it comes automatically. If the table field is not having the help and it is a table field, so you can create that F4 search help and assign at the attribute level. Correct? This is also I shown. And if you want to write any code, then use the event called process on value request event under that module to write the code. So this is how you're going to write. F4 underscore file name is the function module to give the F4 help for the file path. So that is also listed here. Then we have F1 help documentation. Document also same. If you have the documentation at the table level, it comes automatically. That is the first way. If that it is a table field but it is not a custom field, then you can't add the documentation at the data element level. Then also you can create in SE61 and assign, or if it is not at all a table field like file path, at that time also I want to add also same. You can create documentation at SE61 and you can attach it under the event called process on help request under the module. So what is the function module? DSYS show for F1 help, that is the function module will use it for assigning the F1 help. These function modules you have to by heart. They can ask in the interview, what is the function module to give the F4 help? F4 underscore file name. What is the function module used for documentation help? DSYS show for F1 help. This and all you have to by heart and keep it ready. Clear?
Yeah, ma'am.
So with this I finished the events concept of our module pool programming. Total, how many events are there? They can ask module pool programming events or screen events. Any question will be the same. How many events are there? Four events are there. Process before output, PBO. Process after action, after input. Means on your action it will trigger, PAI. Process on value request to give the F4 help. Process on help request, POH, which triggers when you press F1 help on that particular field. This is for documentation help. Is it clear? The event's triggering point is very important. They can ask what is that triggering point. And if you see this, these PAI and PBO are the default events. Okay, so by default it will be available. POV and POH are optional. If you want, add it, otherwise leave it. Clear, ma?
Yes, ma'am.
So with this I covered the events. Can we go for the next?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Next one will be like input output field, text feeds, push buttons only, we saw that, but we have the like checkboxes and radio buttons. So we are going to see how to create the checkboxes and radio buttons and how to write the code also. Okay, so what is the difference between checkboxes and radio buttons? We discussed already in the selection screen also, correct? Checkboxes and radio buttons differences. List out.
We can
Yes,
we
ma'am.
can
Hmm.
we can select checkboxes. We can maximum we can select, ma'am. Radio
Mhm.
buttons we need to select only one radio button we can select at a time.
Okay.
Radio buttons we can't create alone. We need to create it as a group.
Yes.
Minimum two required to create a group.
Yes. Very good.
Checkboxes we can create alone.
Very
Single
good.
we can create.
Very good. Yeah. So this is what we discussed at the time of selection screen also, differences between checkboxes and radio buttons. That radio buttons means round buttons are called radio buttons and the square shaped boxes are called the checkboxes. Alone checkbox we can create, single checkbox also we can create. But in the radio means radio buttons, minimum is two required in a group. You can't create alone radio button. And then we have the selection. So in the checkboxes, minimum selection is 0, maximum selection is all. But in the radio buttons, minimum selection is 1 and maximum selection also 1 only. Clear the differences?
Yeah, ma'am.
Then I will show you how to create checkboxes and radio buttons in the module pool programming. So I'm quickly creating one more program. you know how to create the program. So that's the reason I'm not repeating the same steps. Means I'm repeating the steps, but I'm not saying that what we are doing. Now right click and activate it. Then right click, create screen. You can give any screen number demo. So first I'll go for checkboxes, then I'll show you the radio buttons. So checkboxes, single also can be created. I will show you the checkboxes. Why it is running for too much time? Maybe it will end up with the run connection error. No, connection is fine. Then something wrong with this program only. Stop transaction. I'll open SCAT and this is S. Right click, create screen 9000 demo, and then I'll activate first. Then I'll go to the layout. Here I can create alone checkbox, or I can create multiple checkboxes also. So for checkboxes, what and all attributes? Name, text, sales order number, and that's it. Name, text is enough for checkboxes. Then one more checkbox I'm creating, which is CH2, which is purchase order. Then I'm creating one more checkbox. You can create one or two or three, how many you want you can create. Okay, stock transfer order. Like this, I'm just creating three checkboxes and then activate. For the checkbox, you need to give the name and text. That's it. And then come back. And first I need to create this CH1, CH2, CH3. I have to declare it, right? Just go to the includes. Here, declare it. How to declare? Data is the keyword. CH1 type C or CH2 comma CH3. If I'm not referring to anything, it will be by default type C. Clear na? We have the data types. If I'm referring type I, type C like that, then it will be taken like that. But if I'm not given anything, type, keyword or anything, just given that variable name with the data, then it will take by default as one character, type C. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, normally we'll refer to type C only, but you can see this kind of, they're not referring, but then how it is taking, what data type it is taking. By default, it's going to take type C, which is of one character length. Okay, so okay, fine. I just declared that all the checkboxes. Now I need to write the code. How to write the code? Go to the screen on your action only. So uncommand the PPO module, double click on that. S to create, choose the same main program, save the screen. This and all fine. If checkbox is selected or not, how we are going to get to know? Checkboxes is selected or not, how you are going to get to know? in the program?
Capital X will
If you are selected, it's going to store capital X in the backend. Okay, if you are not selected, then it will store space. So I want to check whether it is capital X or not. So what is the statement I can use? If it is checked, then write some code. How to do that? How to write the code? Which statement I'm going to use? What? Whether it is condition satisfied or not, how we are going to check?
If condition.
Ah, so we are going to check if condition. So in the checkboxes, they can select one, they can select multiple also. So you can't use if else if. Compulsory what you have to use? You have to use individual if statement if this is selected and if this is selected and if, because chances are there to select multiple. You can see X and if. So this is how you can choose it. Or if ch2 equal to abap true. So abap true is nothing but capital X it will store. Abap false means space it will store. Okay, 3 equal to capital X, so that and if. Okay, abap true is nothing but capital X. If you want, double click and go and see. Okay, or otherwise in the runtime also you can see. What is this? Edit ABAP. Okay. So activate. I'm writing individual ifs because they can select one, they can select multiple also. Now, in this, whatever requirement based on that, you will write the code. Here, I'm just showing how to call write statements in module pool programming. Sales order, and then write purchase order, and then write stock transfer order, whatever it is. So if I'm just writing write statement, system don't throw any error, but it won't show the output. Why? Why? Because it is my own module pool programming. It need to go for LPS. It is unable to go from here to there. So then what to do? Whenever you want to use write keyword in module pool programming, you need to use leave to list processing. So this is the keyword you have to add it, so that whenever you have write statement on top of it, add it, so that it will go to the LPS and then it is going to call that write message. So this is also a very important point to remember. In module pool programming, can I use write statement? Yes, you can use, but you need to use the keyword called leave to list processing. So then only you can go there. Clear, ma? Right click, create, yes, transaction Z22 MPP 8. Sorry, this is mandatory demo. And then copy the screen name, sorry, program name and the screen number. Then save it. Local object. So now I'm going to run it. You can see sales order. I'm selecting and entering. You can see sales order is coming. Come back. I can select all the two. Stock transfer order. Leave to less processing. That's the reason it is coming here. Otherwise, it can't come. You can see purchase order. I can select all the three. Or I can select only one. Or I can select without selection also. I can leave. Okay. So this is about the checkbox. If I'm not selecting, no output. Clear, right? So here we learn two things. What is that? How to create checkbox we learn. and whether it is selected or not, individual ifs we are going to write, that we learn. And under that I use write keyword. So in module pool programming, whenever you are using write keyword, you have to use leave to list processing keyword. Otherwise, it can't take you to the LPS. So this is also we learn. Any questions?
No, ma'am.
Can we go for the next?
Yeah, ma'am.
So next one is radio buttons. Checkboxes are done. Then we are going to see how to design the radio buttons. For that, first I'll go to the screen, go to the layout. I don't know, it's taking too much of time. SC80. And then I'll go to the screen. Okay. Then go to the change mode and then go to the layout. I'm going to design the radio button. Single radio button you can't design. Remember that. And what and all properties you need to give. Name RB1, text. Okay. And then group name. So because a radio buttons always in a group. So I just choose it the group name. Single radio button I can't. If you want, you can try the by activating, it will throw the error. RB2, which is AL application layer, and the group name I'm just taken as AAA. Same I'm just taken. Another RB3, and then database layer, and the group name will be the same, AAA. Now, after creating all the radio buttons under the group, select it, right click, radio button group define. Means these are all defined in a group. That's what I said. Then activate it and come back. So now how to write the code? Same in the module, and after action module only we are going to write. Now how to check the condition? Same cell if condition only for radio buttons. Which if condition we need to use? Tell me. Can I write individual if for radio button also?
No, ma'am.
Then what we need to use?
If else if.
Very good. So we learn the conditional statement. If condition satisfied, that is one. So it is not individual. We in a group we need to select. So individual if is not enough. If else, no, this is not one condition to use if else. Then we have one more. What is that? If else if. So we have multiple conditions to check. If this condition satisfied, yes. Otherwise, this condition satisfied, yes. Means in if else, either any one condition only it satisfies. In radio button also, they can select only one option at a time. So that's the reason we can use if else if. Clear? So I'm just going to write if RB1 equal to X, or else if RB2 equal to capital X, or else if RB3 equal to abap true. This also you can see in the code. You can use it also, or you can see at that time you can understand. So like this. Then I'm going to show you already write statements I showed. So messages I'm showing. Already error message is shown. So presentation layer, which is error message, we already saw that type E. Now we are going to see warning message. Then message application layer, which is of type I, information message. Then here message database layer, which is of type S, successful message. Like this, I can write. You can write the logic, whatever functional ask ma. I'm just showing here how to show the messages. So what happened? Okay, RB1, RB2 and all we are not declared. So I'm just going to the top include and declare that first. You can see RB1 type C you can declare, or RB2 comma RB3 also you can give. It will be the same. You can declare type C, or if you are declaring as just not assigning anything, it will be taken by default as type C. Okay. Now I'm just going to run the same transaction. So presentation layer, you can see it's a warning with yellow color it is showing, and which is warns you. It won't stop you. Actually, it won't only warns you. You can see press enter, it will come. Then application layer, when I selected, it's showing as pop-up and showing information message. Information message also won't stop you, but it informs you with the pop-up message. Clear? Then I'm just going to see the database layer. When I press enter, it is getting the successful message with green color in the status. So this is about the types of messages. We have error, it will stop you where you are. Warning, information, success and all won't stop you. Okay. Warning will be yellow color. It's just warns you, it will allows. So information which is going to pop up and show, and it will allow you further. Database layer, it's going to display only the status, only it shows the green color, and directly it will show the message at the status bar. So these are the types of messages, and how we return the code for checkboxes and radio buttons is very important, that I shown already. How to design and how to write the code. Is it clear? So checkboxes and radio buttons are done. But you are going to write whatever the code requested by the functional. Any questions here, ma?
No, ma'am.
Can we go for the next?
Yeah, ma'am.
Then we are going for the next, which is tab strip. Hey, what is this tab strip? Tab strip means, if you see here, I'm just going to the screen. This is a tab strip. Attributes tab, elements list tab, flow logic tab. Under elements list tab, you can see again have tab strip. General, text input output field, special attributes, display attributes, like this. So this is called tab strip. Okay. How to design this tab strip, that we are going to learn. This is very important for the interview. Tab strip and table controls. They will ask the steps also. How to design the tab strip. Okay. We have some steps to follow for creating the tab strip. What is that step? First, we need to create normal screen. Okay. Once you created the normal screen, then you're going to drag and drop the tab strip. So how many tabs you want and name of the tab you're going to give. Once you given that, for each and every tab, you're going to give the name, text, and FCT code. Why the FCT code? Because if you click on the tab, some action is happening. Whenever you need action, FCT code is must. Okay. For the tabs, we are going to give name, text, and FCT code. Once you given that, under each and tab, you are going to reserve the space for subscreen. By using subscreen area, dragging and dropping of subscreen area, you're going to reserve the space. In this space, the subscreen is going to display. Once this is done, this is the designing of the screen. Once designing of the screen is done, then in the program, we are going to create subscreens. How many tabs under that, how many subscreens you want to call, you can design that subscreens. Once you design the subscreens, you need to declare this tab strip. Up to now, we saw the types keyword to declare the structures and table type. And we saw the data keyword to declare the internal table work area variable. Same like that, we are going to see control keyword to declare the tab strip and table control. Here we are going to declare tab strip. So we'll declare under the top include. Once it is done, we are going to assign that subscreen under the subscreen areas so that it is going to call whenever your action on the tab, it's going to call that subscreen. So these are the steps you have to follow. In the interview, if you ask also, you have to explain the steps. Okay. So can we see practical part so that you can better understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So program I'm just creating 9. Yes, to create. Same with top include. Save local object. Done. My program is ready. Right click and activate. Once it is done, right click, create screen. 1 second ma, I quickly come back. Sorry for the break. Audible, right? Audible, ma?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay. Server disconnected. SCIT. Right click, create screen. 9000 and demo. It is normal screen only. Go to the layout and drag and drop the tab strip. So this is the first step, creating the screen. Door is ma? Door is Now we can see there is a tab strip. You can just drag and drop the tab strip, and for this you need to give name tbstr. I'm just taking, and how many tabs you want. Minimum is 2, maximum is 99. How many you want, you can just give the tab titles. So this is done. After that, each and every tab you need to give the name, text and fct code. Name I'm just taking as tab 1, and it is attributes tab, and fct code is must because action is required. So I'm just taking the name and the fct code as same so that I can remember easily. And then go to the tab 2. So tab 2, and which is elements list. You can give anything. fct code is tab 2. I'm just maintaining the name and fct code as same so that I can remember. Tab 3, which is of flow logic, that fct code is tab 3. So this is done. I just given for each and every tab name, text and fct code. This is the next step, third step. After that, first step, creating the normal screen. Second step, dragging and dropping the tab strip. Give the name and number of titles. That is the second step. Third step, for each and every tab, give the name, text and fct code. That is the third step. Then fourth step, under the tabs, you need to reserve the space for subscreen. How to reserve? There is a subscreen area. Just drag and drop. So this space is reserved for subscreen. So you can give that name sub1. You can see whenever I given this sub1, under the tab, you have the reference field. It is filling automatically. Means whenever I clicking on the tab, sub1 will be called automatically. For this, you can see there is no reference field because we are not yet reserve the space. Just go and reserve the space, which is sub 3, sorry, sub 2. You can see now under the element list it came. So then go to the flow logic and drag and drop the subscreen area, sub 3. So like this I designed. So this is how we are going to design the screen. Done. Activate it and come back. Then what I need to do? I have main screen. For that subscreen areas to call, I need 3 subscreens. So what I need to do? Right click, create subscreen. Screen. Okay, I'm just going to create 910. So which is for demo, and choose that as subscreen. And in the layout, it will be the same. Either it is a normal screen or subscreen. You can design what and all you want. T1, name and text I'm giving. T1, which is attributes screen. Whatever it is, the text I'm giving. Activate it. And then come back. Then right click and create one more screen, 920. Okay, and choose it as subscreen. Go to the layout, use the text field T1 elements list screen, then activate it and then come back, then right click, create screen, 930. So first give the description, then choose it as subscreen, go to the layout and drag and drop T1, which is flow logic screen, whatever it is, then activate. After that, come back. So done, my designing of subscreens also done. But what I need in the top include, I need to define this tab strip. How to define this? Controls is the keyword. What is the tab strip name? TBSTR I given, which is of type tab strip. I just defined it. Done. Okay, now I'm just going to the main normal screen and comment the PI module, because on your action you are clicking on some tab means action. So it's going to trigger this, save it. Under that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to write case SYUCOM, because you have FCT codes which will be stored under case under SYUCOM only. So tab 1 FCT code, when tab 2 FCT code comes, when tab 3 FCT code comes, what I need to do in case. Done. So these are the FCT codes. We have TBSTR. Okay, TBSTR is my tab strip name. Under that active tab is the one where, what is that name of the tab also, I'm just taken the same, tab 1. Okay, so when tab 1 FCT code triggers, active tab means showing tab should be tab 1. And this is tab 2. This is the name of the tab strip. When is the FCT code, and here active tab is the tab name. So once it is done, activate it. That is fine. You are saying that tab 1 will be active. Under that, what we have? We have that subscreen. So that subscreen where it is going to display. Before showing the screen, we are going to call subscreen sub1, including, what is this? Program name Z22 MPP. Under that, what is the screen number? 090, sorry, 910, right? 910. So whenever sub1 is calling, subscreen is calling, call this program this subscreen. So that's what. Why we are giving program name also? Subscreen number is enough. Means we can call it from another programs also, the subscreens. That's the reason we are giving here. Now right click and activate. Okay, so whenever you are activating in the screen level, it will show you are editing. Then just click on display mode, save it, and then right click and activate. Okay, what happened? Screen 9000 Flogic, line number 4. What is that line number 4? Call subscreens. Okay, sub1 only I'm given. What is that sub1? Already done. Sub2 under tab 1, tab 2 sub2, under tab 3 sub3. Correct. That's the reason it is showing that. Save this and then right click and activate. Now no errors. Okay, now I'm going to right click, create transaction Z22 MPP 9, same demo only, and copy the program name, and then 9000 normal screen only we are going to call. Save it, local object. Now I'm going to run this transaction. You can see this tab strip came. Attribute screen it is showing. Elements list, elements trend screen. Flow logic screen. That subscreens are calling under the tabs. So this is how I designed my tab strip. So what and all I did, same step. First I created normal screen. After that I drag and drop the tab strip, given the name and number of titles. After that, given the name, text, FCT code for each and every tab. Under each and every tab, reserve the space by using the dragging and dropping subscreen area. Once it is done, I created subscreens. In the top, declared the tab strip by using controls keyword. Under PBO event, I return the call subscreen area, including program and the screen number. So these are the steps you have to remember and explain in the interview for tab strip. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is about the tab strip. If it is clear, then I can show you the table controls. Any questions in this?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Then I'm going for the next example, which is table controls. What is this table controls? Up to now, we are showing only single input field, right? Input output field. If I want rows and columns, internal table data to be displayed, then how to do that? That we are going to see now. Okay. For that also you'll have the steps. You can see that. Then so right click and activate. Okay, right click. I just how you want. We will give input and then click on button. Then we'll show the multiple entries like that you want, or just get the entire multiple entries and display. How you want the example? First or second?
First one.
First one. Okay. Then we'll design like that. The second example already there in that document, you can see. Create. First, I'm going to create a screen. Normal screen. Under that, we are going to create. Go to the layout. I'll show you simple example. Okay. So I'm just going to take VBAK, get from dictionary. Just choose the VBLN and keep it, and for that rename it as CV underscore VBLN. Okay, once they given the value, and you click on the display button PB1, you can have the display button. FCT code is DISP, and then I want to show the table controls, multiple entries. I'll get it from VBAP and show this. I'm just dragging and dropping the table controls. For this, what you need to give the name. TBCL, I'm just taking as table control name. And I want vertical and horizontal scrollers. Means the rows and columns should be separated with the lines. I just chosen that. Then what and all fields I want to display here. Just get the data from VBAP so that you will get multiple entries and display. Get from dictionary. But VBLN, POSNR, MATNR. These are the three I want to display here. But I can't display directly the table data. So what I'm going to do, take one record into the work area and display. Just go to the input field, not for the text field, input field, and give the rename it GSVBAP VBLN. Then close this attributes and this. Then double click on the input field GSVBAP POSNR. Next, sorry, you can close this and then input field. Okay, GSVBAP MATNR. Like that, just give it. But I'm not at declared, right? So it will show you the syntax error. You can just click on activate despite of syntax error because we are not at declared this and all. So first go to the declaration and declare what and all required. So what and all required? Data keyword, which is ZV underscore VBLN, which is of type VBAK hyphen VBLN I want. Then I want only 3 fields from VBAP. Types, denof, TY underscore VBAP, VBLN tab VBAP hyphen VBLN, POSNR tab VBAP hyphen POSNR, MATNR type VBAP hyphen MATNR, and then end of TY underscore VBAP. Now we are going to declare here ZTVBAP type table of TY underscore VBAP with header line. Why you need with header line, I'll explain little bit later. GSVBAP type TY underscore VBAP. I'm just taken explicit work area also, implicit work area also. Done. Then I'm just going to the screen. Now, whenever they given VBLN and click on display button, then you need this action PI. I'm just going to write, choose the same main program, save it. What is that? I don't have multiple push buttons, so I'm writing only one if SYUCOM equal to DISP and if, okay, so and if GV underscore VBLN is not initial, means if they given the value then only display. Then right, select VBLN POSNR MATNR from VBAP table into table ZTVBAP where, okay, VBLN equal to ZV underscore VBLN if SY sub RC equal to 0 and it. Now I got the data into my internal table. So this is done. But what I need to do, I need to display the data in the table control. A table control declaration we forgot. Controls is the keyword. TBCL is my name of the table control. Type table view using the screen number. This is the syntax for table control to define. We saw the tab strip. Now we define the table controls. Now after that I return the code in the screen. That's fine. I have the data. Now what I can do, I can take one record into the work area and display into the table control. So I'm just writing under PBO loop at ZTVBAK into, sorry, VBAP, right? ZTVBAP into GSVBAP with control TBCL, means take one record and pass to the table control. This is the loop. And then under PAI also I'm going to write loop at ZTVBAP. What is this two loops? Means this is to send the data from internal table to work area onto the table control. This loop, whenever they are editing in the screen, that data to get back. Okay, just go to the display mode, save it, and then right click and activate. If you are in screen, then you need to display mode. Activated, right click, create transaction. Z22 MPP 10. 9000 is the screen. Save it. Local object. Then I'm just going to run the T code. You can see 4980 or whatever it is, click on display. For that, how many items are there, which is going to display. So in this, what and all important points, clicking on display, getting the data, all these, that. What is the main thing to remember? First create normal screen, then drag and drop the table control. Give the table control name. And in the top declaration, declare the table control by using controls keyword. This is very important point to remember. Once you got the data, under flow logic screen, use one loop under PBO to send the data from internal table to work area to table control. Then write one more loop under the PAI, which is going to get back the values into your internal table whenever they're editing. So you can see when I just declared this, I declared with header line, means implicit work area, because whenever they're editing this data, whenever they're editing the data, that data will be captured in this PAI module with header line. That's the reason we created with implicit work area also. Clear, ma? So these are the important points to remember whenever you are doing the table controls. You can see controls is the keyword. Whenever you are using table controls, controls is the keyword. You need to declare the table control. So that syntax also I given here. Under PPO, you will write a loop to send the data to the table control. Under PI, you will write one more loop to get back the values into your internal table. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So with this, I finished module pool programming, all the options. So then next one will be the classes and methods, the modularization technique. In that we have the classes and methods. That concept I'm going to start on Monday, means tomorrow, online. The class will be online only, and I'm going to start discussing about the classes and methods. So for this, what is the prerequisite? Please check and come the modularization techniques. Before we already discussed a few modularization techniques like subroutines, function modules, include programs. Correct? Yes or no? So yes, go through those and come back for tomorrow so that you can understand easily the classes and methods. Class and methods also comes under modularization technique. Okay, you can practice module programming. If you're having any questions, we can discuss in the tomorrow's class. Any questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay, then we can wind up for the day and we'll meet tomorrow and we can discuss on the modularization techniques. Please check and come the prerequisite of the remaining modularization techniques, so that when I'm saying there it will be like this, here it will be like this, and I'm going to differentiate. At that time also it will be easy for understanding. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. So thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.